welcome back everybody to the second and final day here at the Collegiate Star League Grand Finals. Earlier today, we just crowned RIT as our Dota 2 CSL champions, and now it's finally time to head into some CSGO. We'll head into that in just a second, but for those of you who may have missed the action on day one, let's take a look at a quick recap video to see how we got here. From 4 teams down to just 2, it has come down to Illinois and New York. Please welcome on stage, it is RMU and Baruch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the finals here for Counter-Strike at the CSL season. We're here at Huntington Beach once again, ready to bring you the action between Robert Morris, Illinois, and CU New York, Baruch. I'm here with Dust. Dust, how are we feeling about this match? How do we think things are going to go here today?
It's going to be a good one, man. You have Baruch, who are returning champions from last year, and then you have Robert Morris, who is a university that's really embraced esports. They were in the CSGO finals for AVGL just a few weeks ago. They lost it in a best-of-5 that went all 5 maps. It was a grueling series for them. They were so close to the trophy there, but didn't get it, and now they'll have an opportunity, though, here to get a trophy.
Absolutely, and let's start off by taking a look quickly at the Robert Morris roster, seeing who they brought to the table for this tournament. Going over them quickly once again, it's AWOL, Lennox, Reality, Spermy, and Welshi. Starting things off for their side.
Exactly, every single player on this team has at least played at an ESEA main level, so definitely been in the semi-pros and the amateur leagues. Players like Spermy actually currently compete in Mountain Dew League, and we've also seen Linux in the past compete in MDL. Welshi now playing in the Advanced League, the new division between MDL and Maine. So definitely some experienced players on this team, and definitely a team that takes the college league very seriously, puts in a lot of time in preparation. We saw that yesterday, surgical match against Virginia Commonwealth, ripped through them 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we can take a look as well at some interesting facts about the roster. We'll get those up on the screen once again and see some stuff about them.
As they come up, one of the things we'll definitely talk about is that they've improved over the years, right? So you can see that gradual growth as they've added new players to the lineup and gotten more experience. They were at the top 4 last year, and this year now they find themselves inside the finals. So definitely good advancement. And again, talked about how they were in the AVGL finals last month. So, consistent success at the collegiate level for this team.
Yeah, definitely. And now moving it over to the other side of things, we do have New York Baruch. And that's a pretty storied roster, actually. When we look at the roster, quite a bit of experience going back even, 3-4 years ago in Counter-Strike, potentially even longer than that. As we have 4Shot, Food, and Toy. Those 3, definitely the standout 3 from the roster, having quite a bit of history, some even at the pro level here in CSGO. And then Versace and Udikmeister to round things out.
Yeah, indeed. 4Shot was a former professional Counter-Strike Source player in his teens, but now, as he's gone to college, he's played in the Mountain Dew League in CSGO. Obviously, Toy is a player who's played in the EPL, has been at a professional level in North America. And then Food's a guy who's been coming up, does play in the MDL currently with 4Shot on the same team, actually. And a couple other players here also experienced. The big thing about this team, though, is, in juxtaposition to RMU, this is a team that doesn't really practice together a whole heck of a lot. Yes, they have a lot of experience and individual talent, but they they don't really have set roles. They just kind of show up and try to use their individual firepower to their advantage, play a looser style of play. And so that could come back to bite them against maybe a more prepared RMU team.
We'll take a look at some interesting facts about them. Again, with them coming in here as the previous year's champions as well, as you can see right there at the top. However, the majority of them are looking to graduate this year, so this could be their last chance to leave a mark and potentially their first chance to get a bit of a repeat victory as well, a repeat championship here.
Yeah, it's not something we've had before in CSL and CSGO. And, they looked really stressed out yesterday. They went all 3 maps against UCLA. 2 of those maps were 16-14 games. It was a very long night into the wee hours of the morning. And there were definitely many moments throughout that series where I thought they were going to get upset, and I thought UCLA would be sitting upstage against RMU, but they did manage to get through it nonetheless. And so now it's a new day. Hopefully they can just kind of mentally reset. I know in their post-game interview yesterday, they were talking about how, guys were kind of tilting, getting a really bit worried. But hopefully they'll have calmed down now, and it'll be a new day, and they can look a little bit sharper. And
so that takes us over to the map pool now as we can discuss how things went down in the Veto's first ban. Well, RMU won the coin toss, so they get the choice. But RMU chose to ban out Inferno, followed by which Baruch took Train out of the pool, and that left us with the picks. First pick coming in from RMU was Nuke. The only other pick coming in from Baruch ended up being on Overpass, and then of the remaining 3 maps, we randomized it and got Cobblestone as our final map if we do need to play that one out.
That's a big pick from RMU on Nuke. Definitely, probably something wouldn't normally do, I wouldn't think. But they have played Nuke certainly a fair amount more than the Baruch side. Like normally, RMU has really favored playing maps like Cobblestone or actually Train's like a big map for them. At least when you look at their online results in the league and playoffs. But they picked Nuke, I think specifically because Baruch has not played Nuke a whole hell of a lot. It's probably one of their worst maps from the regular season results for Baruch. So I think they were trying to sneak like a curveball in there, try to catch them off guard in the first map on Nuke. But Overpass, obviously a map that Baruch's very good on, so, makes sense they would pick that. And then if we need Cobble, it'll be maybe a sending off of Cobble, maybe one of the last times we see it commentated for a while.
Yeah, overall, the map picks, we do end up seeing it lean much more towards a very strat-heavy sort of play style there. So I think, in my opinion, that does give a pretty heavy advantage over to RMU, considering as well the more, I would say, consistent performance we saw from them yesterday across the board, where for Baruch, things were kind of on and off every once in a while. We were seeing them have some very strong plays at some parts of the game, but then other parts they looked kind of completely lost when they were still playing against UCLA.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Morey yesterday, like kind of the usual suspects for putting up big numbers did show up yesterday, particularly Linux. He was, really good, got the numbers you wanted. And I will say AWOL just had a lot of impact. Like there were so many rounds where I saw him like, holding crazy angles or making really well-timed, flanks or something like that, and seemed to be able to put up numbers as well. And really no one faltered for them. I thought everyone, did what they needed to do. Welshie with the AWP was fine. So definitely they're a team that will, in the matchup yesterday between UCLA and Baruch, it was kind of like, the experience and individual talent of Baruch going up against a UCLA team that didn't have much experience but at least had team chemistry. Well, RMU has that same level of team chemistry, if not better, and they have more experienced players than UCLA had. So that gap is a little bit shrunken with these two teams.
All right, guys, well, it does look like it's ready to start. However, we're going live now in the first map of the Grand Finals for this season of the CSL. It's the RMU Eagles going up against Baruch, and it's going to start here on Nuke with Baruch on the T side and the Eagles jumping over to the CT side.
So we'll see what Baruch has in store for us on T side, as it looks like they're just going to go for a full-out upper rush with Glocks and armor. Fair enough.
Pretty much running directly into the site. A little bit of a mess as they do get themselves inside of the site, but still a one-for-one trade gives them the opportunity to plan over here on the upper bomb site. However, the CT's pretty much ready to go for the retake. They're already moving in, picking up a massive number of kills in the process, leaving only Versace in this fight. He's got a good angle against the bomb, but can't stop the defuse anyway. Lennox closes it out, and it's the Eagles to start off with a 1-0 lead.
Indeed, just Baruch trying to do something fast-paced, is trying to flex their Glock and armor in close-range battles in the upper bomb site. But despite the fact they got the plant, they got a few kills out of that. Almost a team ace coming in there. Only Reality not involved from the RMU Eagles of Chicago. So they will go ahead and get first blood here. We'll go ahead and start getting out the rifles as well. They know that with that bomb plant that Baruch is going to be saving and getting AKs in round number 3. That's why you see them going very rifle heavy as opposed to maybe getting a bunch of SMGs and hoping to farm cash. They really need those stronger weapons right away.
So taking a look once again. The opening wrap from Baruch is going to work out well. They'll have, nice shot, and just overall an overwhelming firepower there coming out from the Baruch roster to try and take out the player over at Heaven. It's a Glock at that range that ends up taking them down, and they're not just going to stop there. They've picked up 2 additional kills now, bringing the Eagles down to just Spermie and Reality. Granted, not a whole lot of guns been picked up just yet, but with 2 rifles in the favor of Baruch, this is where they can close it out. It's just Reality left in the 1v4 situation, and he's going to get destroyed by Unikmeister as well. An instant trade comes out from the Baruch roster, and they bring it up to a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, and that's not supposed to be happening. Remember, this is a team that took a very conservative buy in round number 2 because they were looking to buy up AKs this round. That was supposed to just be a wash. It was supposed to be you know, yeah, we go down 2-0, but here comes the AK buy. But now they collect an M4 and a FAMAS, so they only have to buy 3-player AKs, and that gives them a lot more money to get utility. And now RMU's been reset. They have to go for a force buy with upgraded pistols and armor. Not much utility to put a stop to Baruch's fast-paced play. So that is definitely around that. You got to be kicking yourself if you're RMU to let that one slip through your fingers.
So as far as the Eagles are concerned here, they're trying to play the same thing. They're trying to look for these early picks by getting more aggressive or hide in some of these kind of cheeky positions. Lennox being a great example of that. Right now sitting at the bottom of the secret stairway. But Food, I think, is aware of this. Stopped as soon as he got to the bottom of the steps. Wary of something being out here. There we go. Spots out Lennox. Quickly eliminates him. Brings the Eagles roster down to just 3 men standing now here. Reality looking to find something on the Deagle, but it's not going to work out. And Baruch, so far, with a pretty clean round, looking to clean it up as well. But Spermy is a bit of a surprise there. Manages to at least take down Food. Now with only 27 HP, there's not much left to be done. He's going to be heading towards lobby, I believe, and more than likely we'll just look for exit kills there, as the round, sadly, is unwinnable. And Baruch are going to be moving up now because of that, with the lead at 2-1.
Absolutely. The Force War has been lost very early here from RMU. If Spermy can hold on to the armor and CZ into next round, that might give them at least something to pose a threat with, as opposed to just like a full USP save, which is the likely route they will be taking in round number 4. Of course, he'd love to see if he can't grab an AK or something on someone falling back into lobby, but no such maneuvers taken by Baruch, who will gather up together outside. So it will be 2-1 for the team of New York. Again, they steal around early in the last round, and now they're capitalizing on the advantage they gained from it. And this round should be really a waltz in the park for Baruch at this point, given that RMU are really not going to have any way to invest into this.
Yeah, this should be the easy round, so to speak, for Baruch. As RMU sadly have to take a step back to save up for their upcoming gun round after this. Let's see how they're going to position themselves to try and at least deal some damage this time. It is just kind of a mob. Ooh, it's inside of the garage, though, so they might, if they push at the right time, they might be able to catch a couple of these guys looking to work over towards Secret or Mini. But again, Baruch are smart about it. They're not just going to, head in there gung-ho and all that. They do sit back and try to molly it out a little bit, and because of that, they're going to get a nice, clean execution of pretty much everyone on the RMU roster, giving them a nice, solid third round.
Yeah, well done by Baruch. Definitely a lot of boxes and such people can be hiding behind tricky angles, but using Molotovs well to flush people out of those spots. Now they will be up 3-1, but here comes the buy up from RMU. Will not include an AWP to patrol outside, but certainly full rifles, small armor. There is one kit there. There is a little bit of utility. Full buy, of course, from Baruch. And typically, Nuke T-sides is just all about getting outside control, putting the smoke wall down, and maybe playing into Secret, or at least kind of using outside as a staging area, almost like mid-control on other maps would be. So I'm curious to see if we'll see a lot of that. Probably will, but not this time. Baruch's actually looking to put a little bit more pressure towards Wikidor and lobby. And now they might be going late towards outside. A couple players are kind of just floating around, but taking this very passively and cautiously is Baruch, except for Food, who has definitely stretched forward a good bit.
Still holding good control of the door back over there as well. Welshi, great position behind the big blue box. He's going to be able to immediately get a quick kill against Food. Unikmeister is fast to trade that, however. And now Toy's going to look for further control outside so they can try to go for a little bit of a pinch, I think, towards the A site here. They're going to have to get heavy control to be able to do that, though, and that will have AWOL in its way. However, Toy quickly eliminates him, knocking him out of the fight, bringing the RMU roster down 3, potentially 2 here now as 4-shot. Again, finds another opening kill, takes down Lennox, that swings the door open. Spermy is the close-up fight, but he's just dropped the bomb. Now he's got to continue to hold, however, he has more pressure coming back into him from lobby. Is not ready for it, but still picks up the kill against 4-shot to keep his team in the fight. His fight will end there, however, as Toy catches the trait, but here comes Reality. Swinging back in with another kill, he brings it into a 1v1. Toy looking for the clutch here, he's got to find the bomb first, however. The pickup, he'll be able to move back out onto A, but he takes a moment, he pauses here for a second. Try and see if he can hear any movement coming out from Reality first. With only 20 seconds remaining, though, he doesn't start moving in. He knows he's got to buy Mini. He's going to try to make a cross, but he switched off his gun, and that gives Reality the winning shot to be able to clutch out the round for RMU.
What a chaotic round that was, starting with that outside battle that Welshi won on to Food. There was a lot of battling going on towards lobby, hut, squeaky door, but in the end, RMU does come out on top in the 1 versus 1. So they do sneak back into perhaps tying this thing up soon, but think about how much rebuying that RMU had to do to make it very tough if they get reset here. We see a fast upper attempt from Baruch, but they're shut down by the utility. And then there's Welshi swinging in with the FAMAS. So they will avoid that whole reset threat. And now they've tied the game as well.
Still going to see buys, however, coming in for Baruch for the time being, but it's going to be their last one here. All an investment from them to try and keep themselves not only stabilized in terms of their economy, but also look to break down the Eagles a little bit here too, as their money still isn't looking that great. Most players still having to go down to pretty close to zero to be able to buy into this round. They lost quite a few here, so still trying to stabilize. For Baruch, things are going to be a lot more passive on the opener, but I think it's a pretty quick lead up to the outside after that initial hold on the roof. They're going to send 4 already to the outside and keep just 1 in lobby.
This is that standard smoke wall we were talking about that's usually a key piece of everyone's T-side playbook of Nuke. Again, both teams' money is in a really bad situation. Whoever loses this might have to take the save. So this round could be a 2-for-1 deal, and Welshi taking the right step forward to helping his team along with it.
Eagles just shutting it down here so far. Already bringing Baruch down to 2. Versace and Toy trying their best to work around this. However, Toy finding some good momentum back over by the ramp, but it just doesn't work out as now he's lost Versace. That's the bomb gone down too. Toy's going to have to move back inside of lobby. Look for another angle to try and play off of this. Thankfully, still has a minute left. Plenty of time to work this, but the player down at the bottom of the fence pretty much sealed his fate. And we can see him reacting to it there now as he's realized it. Welshi hits the finalizing shot from inside of the warehouse, though, and RMU now takes the lead at 4-3.
And there's enough money on some of these players from Baruch to get a buy, but you do see players like Food and 4Shot in particular who would be certainly a little bit more limited in what they'd be able to purchase in this next round. So that's kind of the talk that they probably need to have here about how they want to spend their money this next round. They also let RMU kind of catch back up. They were up 3-1 on the Baruch side, but now 3 rounds in a row from RMU to take the lead back. Apparently we do have a technical issue going on stage with some of the players from Robert Morris, so we'll hopefully get that straightened out here soon.
Yep, just hopefully a small issue that we can look into fixing, guys, and then once it has been fixed, we'll be jumping right back into the action. But a good start so far from RMU. Bit unfortunate they do get upset in the second round there, but they quickly bring it back under their control once the economy's back in a good spot. And now with the lead in check and what should be an eco, or actually, excuse me, it's another force buy from Baruch.
Yeah.
Should have been an eco here, but it looks like they just barely squeaked through with enough cash to be able to buy into it one more time.
Yeah, it's like really weird money. You know, they had 3 players who were solid, but then Versace and 4Shot really had to kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel, and it means 4Shot has a CZ armor, and Versace's only on a Galil, and obviously the utility's a little bit less than you'd like to have. But of course, 4Shot wants to make sure he can get maybe into an AWP soon. So that's why he's going pretty light on his buy.
Thankfully, the losing bonus, I think, helped them out to be able to buy here so much since they are in the 3-loss streak now. So it's starting to get to a pretty good amount of money that they're going to be getting for every round dropped here. However, eventually need to try and turn that back around, and to start, it's just sending 4Shot basically into the wild right there so they can try to get some intel. Thankfully, it works out as they're able to trade it relatively quickly, and again, only lost a player with a CZ, so it's not a massive loss. Lennox knocking out Toy, however, that's a big kill, as that's going to limit the angles that Baruch are going to have to play with here on the entry to B by quite a bit. They're not going to be able to pinch on the players in the site as effectively anymore, and we can see a great example of that in reality, just tearing them apart. A quick 2-kill from him, leaving Versace alone.
Really well done here by the rotations of RMU, kind of, you know, giving up ramp room, but Spermy was covering underneath Heaven. You had Reality go into the lower bomb site to make sure that he covered that. So they contained Baruch inside that ramp room and never gave them access to the other part of the map. So a well-managed round from RMU that gives them 4 in a row. They're building up their lead a bit, and now Baruch does have to take the full save in this round, basically. They shave off a little bit to get some CZs and armor, but, you know, making sure they stay around that 2K to mid 2K range so that they can get a nice full buy in the next round. Certainly gives the opportunity, though, for RMU to keep creating a gap before that buy comes into play.
Lennox is in a good position to take the fight. In fact, a lot of players from RMU are. That nade explodes a little bit too early, sadly, so it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. But regardless, Baruch do manage to get themselves down inside of the side hallway. AWOL's just spotted it, so he's going to move into position in the site. In reality, he's already started to pick them off in the side hall. They sent one player upstairs too, but again, AWOL just allowed to get away with a lot here, getting into that position. Even though he gets traded, CT still maintaining control. As long as they don't pick up another kill right here, it should be good for the RMU players to take the round. And indeed they do. Reality cleaning it up once again, this time a 4K on the round. As RMU move up now with a solid lead established at 6-3. Baruch on a max losing bonus though, so they're coming right back into it with another buy.
Yeah, absolutely they are. And plus they did take a really light buy that last round, so definitely going to have everything that they want, including 4Shot getting an AWP for the first time on this T side. Of course, he was great yesterday in that series, alongside Toy and Food on putting the numbers on the board. So see how he fares on T side with it on Nuke. Not always the easiest map to get a knock working on T side. Sometimes if you get it outside, you might be able to find some picks, and that is looking like maybe what he's thinking of. But look at this from RMU, playing up close, changing it up, could catch them off guard.
Toy. Four-shot Versace as well, quick to fall after the fact, and Food just peeks right into the player in the corner there. Was expecting him to, as we had already seen Spermy looking at the top of Twinkie a moment ago. Unikmeister does surprise a little bit as he had managed to work his way over here towards Secret, but again, it's only one kill on the surprise. A quick trade comes in from Lennox, and it's another relatively straightforward round for RMU as they continue to crush it here on Nuke.
Yeah, everyone's really stepping up and making plays. Reality had 2 really big rounds in a row or towards lower bomb site. He's been up to 8 kills, and Spermy has a big round there. You know, again, it's just them changing it up. They're positioning their op differently every round. That, you know, sometimes they play a little bit more standard, but that round, obviously, they play up close and getting Baruch's face outside. So definitely doing really good about being dynamic and making themselves hard to read. And now they have another situation where Baruch doesn't really have a whole lot of resources in this round. And so RMU could just keep racking up the rounds at this point, which would be great. This is their map pick. This is the one that they really want.
They do get a nice kill onto the player atop a hut. And with Food picking up another frag on his Deagle as well, that's really put Baruch into a kind of powerful position here. Spermy chucking in a nade from heaven is going to be able to trade one out, and he'll look to maintain control. This is dangerous for Baruch actually to go to a plant considering the circumstances right now. They still allow Spermy full control. Another nade kill comes out for the Eagles roster, and it's left only Unikmeister left, but he's got a great position. However, it's being watched. So if he goes up and Spermy's checking that position, which he was, going all back and forth, it's going to be another quick retake from RMU as they continue to dominate. 8 rounds now in their favor, 7 in a row here.
So there was Reality 2 rounds in a row on lower, and this is now Spermy 2 rounds in a row. Big play outside in the previous round. That round saves the day. It was actually looking really dangerous. Baruch were getting some big entries on upper with those pistols. They actually had a man advantage there for a little bit, but Spermy and Reality reel it right back in for RMU, and now they're up 8-3. But with that bomb plant and max loss bonus setting in, Baruch has plenty of funds into this one. AWP included. 4-shot looking for a pick here through Squeaky. So far, no one's showing themselves to give him that opportunity. As Baruch do kind of slow it down here. Trying to give 4-shot a chance to work with the op as well as taking control of outside for themselves. And 4-shot does indeed deliver.
Opening coming out from them. Toy with another find as well. It seems like RMU might be getting a tad over-aggressive here. Able to try and get some opening kills in their favor, and that's put the situation they're at now. Another player sadly locked out of an engagement there. Reality only able to trade for 1 kill this time, and with Welshi being left alone, he's going to have no choice but to fall back, give up the engagement. Actually ends up walking straight into the mini player as well, so Unikmeister cleans it up. And finally, after a 7-round streak from RMU, Baruch come back with another round of their own.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where it's like that domino effect where you get a man disadvantage because 4-shot gets an initial pick with the op, and you want to try to make a play to, you know, get it back within range. And so people kind of go for pushes, try to go for peeks, and they all got caught. You know, Toy catching, of course, that forced hut push that you saw. Then it just kind of went downhill from there. And so, like you said, Baruch finally get back on the board after a long drought. RMU, of course, able to buy right back into this thanks to that winning streak. Well, she still has that AWP patrolling outside. And he does indeed deliver the first blow in this round. Food is off the board. They have a chance to reset Baruch here, and that would be massive.
Baruch anyway, with as many players as they did, though, they should still be in a pretty stable position to buy once again. But Welshi with a great shot, going to the back line there, able to pick off Unikmeister. And again, RMU make the good choice, just fall back to their old habits and play passively again, and it's worked out perfectly for them. As Baruch really are struggling to hit entries for some reason here.
Yeah.
Toy, only 1 to find, and it's far too late into the round, so it doesn't matter much. RMU will be able to trade it out quickly, and the Eagles get number 9, and like you said, resets the losing bonus like I said before, though. Baruch ended up winning their last round with quite a few players alive, so they're still in good straits to buy, at least for this round.
It's more of a long-term thing, right? Because if this doesn't go well, then they have nothing going to the last round, so it will eventually pay off for RMU as long as they can connect this one as well. Welshi, great job. He's done really well outside. In fact, really no one's been slacking on RMU on this defense. We've definitely seen almost every player get called out, making a good individual play. With a stop to Baruch, as again, that smoke wall is out, and this time they're actually going to take the bomb secret. They're not looking for the outside split, but they're eating a lot of damage, actually, through some incendiaries. You can see Toy and Food are both quite low. Unikmeister does still find the opening frag on the round, though, and now they have back hauls. And it's getting a little bit scrappy here. We're seeing frags going left and right now, but it does favor Baruch for the moment.
Reality trying to sneak in here, looking for the first pickup from inside of the Toxic Room. Works out well. Nay going to cover it as well, so we can try to go for kill number 2 here against what I believe is Unikmeister sitting behind the bomb right now. But his nade is going to finish him off, prevent that kill from happening. Keeping the T's strong with 2 right now. Oh, here comes AWOL. He'll move in, pick up a kill. 4-shot with the trade from back in control room, bringing this down to a 1v1. And the time has passed a lot here, so AWOL does not have a whole lot of time to get onto that bomb. He'll start it off by just jumping inside. However, look at 4-shot. He snuck directly around AWOL. He's going to be able to finish it off. And Baruch trade the round right back.
Oh man, that's rough for AWOL. His own smoke works against him. Basically, he was trying to use it for cover to tap the bomb, but 4-shot uses it to sneak out into the lower bomb slide. A good effort from AWOL. I got a couple of kills and got himself a chance, but 1v1s can be tricky, and that one goes the way of Baruch. And now we go into the last round with both teams only lacking maybe 1 player firepower-wise. It's going to be a quick change of pace from Baruch, and Toy breaks through.
Starting it off well. Baruch once again as they go for the kind of shock value. Sight control and Spermy trying to get out of there, but he can't make it out. And again, it's left down to just 1. Welshi looking for the clutch here on the side of RMU, but he's been locked out of the site with a 1v3 set against him. He's got no armor behind this op purchase as well, and no utility remaining to try and force his way back into the site. A slow walk and to try and keep it quiet, but now he's been revealed. He's going to go down to Unikmeister, and Baruch really bring it back here at the end, recovering from what at one point was about an 8-2 scoreline to make it 9-6. Very respectable at the end of their T side.
Yeah, they were definitely down for the count there for a while. I believe at one point it was like 8-3, 9-3, something like that, but they won the last 3 out of the 4 rounds in the end, as you can see, and that gets them right back into contention for this map. Again, this was the pick of RMU, a map that they've been pretty good on in online play leading up to this event. A map that was probably at the bottom of Baruch's map pool, if we're honest. They hadn't really played it a whole lot. Was one of their, least win rates. So this was, kind of the ace up the sleeve of RMU, they thought, picking into this. But Baruch has, with that T side of 6 rounds, that's definitely manageable now on their CT side, swapping over to perhaps really challenge RMU on this map pick. And we've definitely seen them not looking flat today. I mean, against UCLA times, they looked a little bit sloppy, but, they're making some big plays today so far. So it seems like they're in a little bit better form.
Start up the pistol round for the second half. RMU are just going to dive straight through. Try to go for a vent dive, but they get caught on something, it looks like, and they don't get down as clean of a fashion as they would have liked. We can see Toy moving in. Versace going for the chase as well here, but Spermy, a quick reversal allows him to stay alive. Still a very dire situation they've been put into, though, and Spermy's not even going to be able to get the plant. Baruch shut it down very quickly, and they'll be able to take control of the opening pistol here in the second half.
Yeah, and really well done that they stopped that bomb plant, so there's no early option for RMU to get AKs. In round number 3, they're going to have to just go for, some type of force buy with pistols and armor in this round, maybe a little bit of utility. And if this doesn't work, then Baruch's tying this game 9-9. There's nothing they can really do about it. So that lead that they had for so long in the first half is really starting to wither away. Baruch right on their heels now. And we'll see what RMU wants to do. Looks like they're just looking to storm outside with these pistols and hope for the best. See what picks they can find. And so far, an equal exchange.
Indeed, however, RMU have a crunch going on a Toy here. They're going to be able to take him out very quickly inside of Mini. They still have to deal with players up towards Heaven and whatnot, and that's going to be the bigger issue. Food as well, denying secret control by taking out Welshi. Brought it down to another even engagement into a 3v3. But RMU is very spread out right now. Curious as to what the end game plan is here. I think they're still trying to figure it out.
They have a lot of angles of approach on upper right now. They have one that could be coming Heaven. Spermy could be coming through Huts. I think they have a player towards Mini as well. So they can definitely really split upper through multiple angles and make this really tricky for Baruch to deal with. As obviously their defense is also stretched thin. They have to respect the fact that lower is an option, so they have to have one player there at least. No, Versace has an XM on upper. Then there is now one player covering Heaven. He might spot this. That's a big, that's the bomb down as well. That's huge.
And now they've got to try to rush through Hell here to be able to take back that control, but Unikmeister's still going to have a massive angle advantage against these guys. You can even see, actually, they let him get through pretty quickly. He was unpeaked at the time that they actually went in for the bombs. The timing ends up working out okay for RMU, and now they're just going to rush downstairs, try to get the plant as quickly as possible. Reality already taking up a post-plant position and just wildly trying to clear things out there. But he's the one who has to plant the bombs. He's going to spend a little bit more time out of the site. Reality as well, great shot against Versace, but Food finds Reality just moments later. Now leaving it all on Spermy. successfully wrapped through the vents. He spotted one, a tag as well against Food, but he's given himself away. Finishes off that first kill though, and now with 3 HP, needs to look for a quick headshot here against Unikmeister to be able to close things out. Will he get it? Let's find out. He's gone for the push. There's the tag. One more, and he should be able to get the kill here. Unikmeister struggling to find it as well. There we go. He finally finishes things off. A 10-second defuse, though. I believe he'll have enough time for this.
Yeah.
And with that, Baruch will be able to move up to an 8th round, 1 away from the tie.
Still a close round, though, from RMU, all things considered. On the 4 spy, they get a bomb plant out of it. Now, because they invested a good amount of money into that to get the bomb plant, they can't really buy early here. It will be another like 4 spy if they did, which would be a little bit tricky. So I think they're just trying to stay around the 2K range. You know, give yourself a way to pose a threat, but make sure you don't handicap yourself. You get a full buy next round. But it seems almost inevitable that Baruch will be tying this game up. But if they get another round like last one, and a couple things change, they could maybe pull it off. But no, they are getting deleted across the map. Well, she sneaks in a knife kill for some extra cash, but it's a clean round for Baruch outside of that.
Very quick one at that, too. Both teams just kind of throwing themselves at their opponent. And as a result of that, they get tied up at 9-9 with Baruch shutting it down once more. RMU finally coming into it with a bye. However, they've got another chance to strike down Baruch here and take the lead back for themselves. It's their last chance to do it, though. Otherwise, Baruch will take control here and start to push ahead, looking for victory on map 1.
Absolutely. 4Shot will have the WP outside, looking to put it to good use. Good smokes, though, will be blocking his vision. Again, typical outside control taking place, kind of a staple for Nuke T side. RMU will definitely be looking to exercise it as best they can, as you see them making their way towards Secret with the bomb. 4 players involved on this push, a 5th lagging behind, watching for any flank, but Boo just holds a close angle for 2 kills.
Nicely done there as well. Spots another one, along with potentially the 2nd player here, too. So RMU are actually going to make a pretty smart decision to call this off for a second. If they try to go straight forward, they're going to be dealing with some pretty obvious resistance down in the lower halls. So they decide not to go for. The problem is, though, is that the CT still reestablished positions in Hell and in the locker rooms over here. So even coming outside of Secret's going to be a dangerous move. We've just seen 4Shot already picking off one of them. He's ready to go for the peek again by Mini. He could potentially end up getting the peek. Yep, from Lennox there to finish him off. It was already low. Just a matter of the finalizing bullet to knock him out of the round. Now just leaves Spermy in a 1v4. Otherwise, Baruch take control here, get up to double digits. That's a good start for Spermy, though, in the 1v4. And the time is good as well. He still has another 40 seconds to get the bomb onto the ground. He's not rushed, really, so.
It's going to be so hard, though, to clear out the angles he needs to safely plant the bomb. Especially there's so many spots in lower that you can't just hide. And he has to use a lot of that time to make sure he's safe from those spots. Going around to control side. 25 seconds. We'll start working in it. He has a smoke to cover his plant, but he still could get spammed through it, so we'll have to see. There it is. Toy not allowing that to happen, and Baruch takes a lead. They have not had it really since
like the beginning of the game.
Yeah, like the very beginning of the game, they were up 3-1, and then it's been all RMU since then, but now they're back on top.
And so RMU, Sally, at this point, are going to have to go for an eco again, or just kind of a half buy for some of their players. Since the money does get brought down to that point, as far as Baruch is concerned, this should be an easy walkover round as long as they play it carefully enough so as not to get ecoed. Let's take a look at what the strat's going to be from RMU. Just a slow walk over here, leading themselves over towards ramp. Unikmeister, actually the only one here to stop it, so this is a good choice and execute so far from the Eagles. Need to make it work. They use the counter smoke to get themselves out. Unikmeister ready to take the fight, and so far has only been able to take down one. They don't even realize he's from Hell at first. Puts 2 together before going out. 4 shots there to immediately cover his position. You see he picks up a 3rd kill for the Baruch side of things. Versace as well. Very early flank. Eagles are not going to be expecting this at all. He moves in, quickly knocks out Welshi, and that just leaves Spermy in the engagement now at a 1v4.
Yeah, and he gets dealt with quickly by Versace there with the headshot, so Baruch up 11-9. Obviously that was a low buy, though, from RMU. Couldn't expect much, but now they're right back into a full investment of AK's utility and head armor. Full nade sets for everyone, so this is where you throw your best execute, I feel like. You want to put a stop to Baruch's momentum here. They haven't won a single round this half yet. So this is starting to spiral out of control. This is where you got to kind of throw out your best shot. You figure they have to have something. They picked this map. They should be having some type of tactics here. But, well, she just runs through fire.
It works, too. It gets him out on the site. Versace's only able to trade for 1. A great execute overall from the RMU side of things. Very surprising, at least, to catch Baruch off guard. Unikmeister going to move in. Doesn't spot the player in the corner, but he does complete the kill on the planter. Lennox will go down, and that evens things up down to a 2v2. 4 shot, remember, though, still going to be pressured up close. He's got the op to play with, and he's inside the lobby, which is not going to be the best position to try and work off of it right now. Toy still stuck outside of Mini, looking for his route to get inside of the side. They don't see a whole lot, but they're both going to move in. One execute is successful, but AWOL is going to be trapped now by 4Shot. He's hit down to 28 HP, but he's playing this smart. He's backing up. He's trying to run away from it. 4Shot needs to get onto the bomb soon here, and it's not planned in a good direction. He might be able to sneak off the defuse, though. Is he going to get it in time? Yes, he will. Another round for Baruch, and they're well on their way to a map win, up at 12.
Yeah, it's one of those things where because AWOL had such low HP, when the HE grenade got thrown, he had to vacate hut and go deep into lobby, which gives 4Shot that little bit of extra time to stick a 5-second defuse without AWOL really being able to stop him unless he can spam the metal and hope that that works. So really well done by 4Shot to pressure him off with the nade. Now they're up 12-9. RMU, though, of course, past max loss bonus now. So they'll be able to get still an AK buy involved here. But again, they're starting to run out of rounds. Baruch, again, has just been steamrolling through this second half on their CT side. This could be awkward.
Jägermeister's going to start committing to the spray. Doesn't realize they're all hanging the left wall, though. The nade's going to go out, and that should do some damage at minimum, but he does get traded in the process. And it's an up that's going to pick up the pieces here now, so the HP that was dropped won't matter much. Thankfully, the bomb has still been put onto the ground, and with Toy's additional kill, RMU are pushed into a corner that I'm not sure they're going to be able to find a way to work out of, especially with Versace working on this early flank from lobby again, and they still have no good way to get past 4Shot.
This is really scary. They have no idea Versace's behind them.
Thankfully, they speed things up a little bit this time, so they're at least going to make it to the bottom of ramp. But Versace spotted one, drops the bomb again, and Food finishes off the round from control. Up to 13 for Baruch, well on their way here.
Yeah, and this is rough now for me because remember, these guys kind of stepped away from some of their best maps, like a Cobble or a Train, to pick into Nuke, really, from what I had to assume, solely because Baruch doesn't really play Nuke and didn't really have the best record on it in online play. And so it felt like they were trying to really attack a weakness of Baruch as opposed to going for one of their own best maps. And again, it's just a different philosophy on how you play map pick ban. That's what makes pick ban so fun as a part of the strategy of CSGO overall. But it seems like this plan's starting to backfire a little bit because so far on their T side, they've looked a little bit lacking strategically. They looked a lot better strategically yesterday as far as just like their coordination, the executes they were rolling out. They looked like they've just gotten kind of stuffed. And I don't know if it's just because Baruch's like won a lot of really individual battles and that's kind of caused them to, you know, get stressed out, or if it's just been the aggression of Baruch. Is, you know, that was a really fast flank, for example, from Versace through lobby. So maybe those aggressive plays are just catching them off guard. But they need to figure something out fast. Otherwise, Baruch is going to be stealing this map pick away.
There's a quick tack pause that we saw there as well coming in from the Eagles. Just trying to figure out what exactly they can try to do now on this next buy-in to be able to bring them back to the game here. Boys once again going to spot the outside play, but his spray's not that great. He doesn't really do a whole lot of damage here. Food back in mini, ready to take the fight. Thought they would be more combined though. AWOL puts both of them together, picking up kills against both Food and Toy. And Versace engages way too early, giving away his position. Another kill from AWOL. He's so far single-handedly kept his team in the round, but Lennox finally will get a piece of the action.
Wow.
And 4Shot just running in the open before his gun's even fully drawn.
What a huge play from AWOL. We talked about yesterday how he wasn't necessarily one of the top fraggers for his team, but he had a lot of impact rounds, a lot of multi-frag rounds that really helped his team through the series. And his team really needed something because they were starting to really fall short on this map. Again, that's their first round victory this whole half. And it's really predicated by the fact that AWOL just kind of put the team on his back that round and carried him through for 4 kills. Really big individual effort from AWOL. Can they use that? Can that be the spark they need to get fired up and get back into this game? Again, Baruch, the heavy favorite coming into this tournament. Last year's champion, a lineup full of experienced players. But RMU, they're still in this hunt.
Molly pressure is going to be able to keep the presence from Baruch outside here held back for a couple of seconds. But RMU have made it blatantly obvious that this is their intention again. And I think they've realized it, so they've decided to give this up for now. Pulling away from the outside area of the map. They used quite a bit of utility here, however.
Yeah,
so that's
really
what confuses me, that they don't follow it up with anything at all.
They have no smokes left. So if they do attack upper, they can't smoke mini, they can't smoke heaven. They just have to rely on clean entries and maybe some pop flashes to go their way. But yeah, definitely going to be lacking on having the resources they want to make things easier. They're all coming out of Squeaky. That's a good entry from Linux, though.
4Shot and Food able to trade back kills. Versace's flank does get spotted this time, but 4Shot still causing problems from up at heaven. Molly burning out well, she doesn't realize it, and now he's lost reality, so he's alone here. A 1v3 potential reset that they're dealing with here as well. Things don't end up going their way. The Molly will get chucked back out. There we go. Gets his opponent into the open, but the problem is Unikmeister completes his run around the world in the flank to kill Welshi, excuse me. And so we will
we're playing Counter-Strike, not Halo in like 2010. Or wait, no, it's probably older than that, actually. Sorry. But anyway, 14-10 here for Baruch. They do reset RMU, and RMU's now in a 4-spot to survive scenario for the rest of the game. They have a lot less to work with than they did in the previous round. AWOL with the MAC-10, Galil on reality. Again, not a lot of utility, and Nade's already done plenty of damage to a couple of players. And obviously, if this round doesn't go their way, in the next round, it's going to be an even worse buy than this. So it's starting to get in the high-pressure situation for them. Meanwhile, Baruch, they have been playing a fantastic game. Unikmeister up to 25 kills. He's not even the most notable player on this team. Usually it's guys like Food Toy, 4Shot. Those are the guys you expect to be heavy numbers, but it's Unikmeister that's doing a great job, and he's going to be tested again here.
Pop flash against him, though, is going to blind him out. He's got no coverage to work with, so he's going to quickly get eliminated. Great nade tossed into the ramp room, though. It's going to deal an average of about 40 to 50 damage to 3 different players on RMU. It's kept them very vulnerable, but they're still picking up frags right now with no trades to be seen. There's Versace finding the first, however, as he moves back downstairs. Does some great damage to eliminate AWOL, but that's only the first kill against them. The CT's remaining very quiet as they wait for the rest of the execute to move back in. Food's going to spot 2 players going through the rafters, but he hesitates a little bit there. Wastes an opportunity. Thankfully, Toy's making up for it, and Food finally dives into the fight. It's left Lennox alone in a 1v3, and he can't maintain. Toy takes him out, and it's Baruch that ended up on mat point.
Yeah, it was a tense 3-on-3 there, but as soon as that bomb started planning, that's that vulnerability that takes place now. There's a player off the board that can't really fight, and that's when Baruch decided to strike into lower together, getting the bomb planner down. In the blink of an eye, they lock up map point on Nuke and RMU. They will scrap together what they can, but you can certainly just look at it and tell that it's not where they want to be. Unless they can make these pistols work, this is going to be Baruch stealing Nuke away from them and going up 1-0 in the series. And look at Toy sneaking around the smoke.
Oh, Toy. Such a mastercraft of movement right there to sneak himself right inside of the players. However, didn't realize that there was a second guy where he originally got his kill. Thought it was a cleared angle, and sadly loses himself just a moment later.
How's he still alive?
Yeah, that's surprising me as well. It's a very detached round, to say the least. But either way, the Eagles are not looking so good right now. Their 4th player just getting thrown to the ground. It leaves AWOL alone. And they already have a good idea about where AWOL is going to try to execute from. Versace shuts it down, and it's a quick 16-10 win from Baruch to start out the series as they take the lead 1-0.
Yeah, again, Baruch came to this tournament as the favorites. Their last year's champion, and we talked about their lineup, just well experienced. But RMU looked so good yesterday, and in general, they've been great in collegiate esports. You know, they've progressively gotten better every year over the last few years, and they have some experienced players in their own right, some good teamwork in their own right, but despite the fact at one point these guys were up 8-3 in the first half on their CT side, they just could not get anything going. I think they only won 1 round the entire second half.
Yeah, it was very rough, especially as we got into that second half once the lead was established for them. Overall, just not having the capability to battle things back, and that's going to look a little bit bad now, because when we consider that this is their own map pick that they ended up going on to. This is their pick and the one that they felt confident to take. Now they have to duke it on an overpass, which is arguably going to bring even more out of them as a team, and that's where Baruch will have the potential to really quickly shut this down if we find out that RMU is not prepared for that map.
Yeah, I mean, again, like we're talking about it in the middle of the game, that it felt like the philosophy there for RMU was to go for a weakness of Baruch, or what they thought was a weakness of Baruch on Nuke, rather than going to one of their biggest maps, and it kind of backfired. And now we go on to Overpass, which is probably Baruch's biggest strength, at least from what we've seen in online league play. Again, it's hard to know. Sample sizes are small. They've played each map a handful of times, and they have a winning record on every map, so it's kind of hard to know what their best and their worst is. But certainly this is like one of RMU's least played maps and one of Baruch's most played maps. And with Baruch already having stolen Nuke, the chances of the 2-0 just become, a lot bigger for the New York team.
All right, guys. Well, the second map is going to be coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Do stick with us as the grand finals are going to be continuing for CSL, the 2018 season coming to a close right here. And we're just going to have to see which of these 2 teams will be able to take it.
And Cloud9 just one round away from hoisting the trophy here at iBuy Power Masters.
Because Renegades shouldn't expect him to be in this position. Cloud9 need the bomb down, and they need it down now. There's 20 seconds left, but it's wrong. Luckily, Rush is right, and he finds 3 kills. Make it 4. Massive shutdown on the Antique. It's a double AWP up for Renegades, and Skadoodle, he'll make it work. Nifty dead as well, and that's it. Cloud9, ladies and gentlemen, will be your victors here at the iBuy Power Masters.
Power your play with Intel Core i9 Extreme Edition processor.